Hello, and good evening, Mr. Tom. So welcome. I'm gonna do. I haven't been on here in a minute, and the NFL draft is tomorrow. So I figured I would get on here and do a quick little mock draft, kind of like last year, um, and just do a real quick 7-round drafting the Broncos. Let me go ahead and present this so everybody can see it. As you can see here, basically just doing a quick 7-round draft, 99 seconds per pick, allowing regular trades, allowing CPU to CPU trades, and the draft buzz will have their rankings. So, oh, you're good, Tom. You're good. But here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and start this, and let's go. All right. So first pick is going to be the Tennessee Titans. We're going to go ahead and start this and see what happens. Titans' first pick is Abdul Carter. I think they're going to take Cam Ward tonight, but whatever. Brown's second pick, Cam Ward. You got Travis Hunter going to the Giants here, number 3. Number 4 is New England. New England ends up with a trade. And that looks like Mikael Williams. Cincinnati took their pick from them. I don't like how fast this is going. I want it to be a little bit slower. Jacksonville's got the next pick. Jacksonville takes Will Johnson, cornerback, out of Michigan. Raiders with the next pick, Shedeur Sanders. Here we go. The Panthers have traded the 8th pick to the Texans to target a running back. So they went and took a Sean Genti, and then the Saints took a Mario Hampton, which would be who the Broncos are probably going to be looking to draft on let's see here, on Thursday. So available prospects: Will Campbell, McMillan, Mendo. Let's see. The Broncos over here. This is kind of big. Let me see if I can zoom out because there's more to the page than what we're seeing here. Here we go. Tyler Warren is a tight end the Broncos could be looking at. And then, of course, Colston Loveland. I've seen some mock drafts having the Broncos go get Luther Burden. But let's get up in here and keep going. What happened? Select your team. Of course. All right. The Bears have traded. They're targeting a corner. Let's see here. The 49ers have traded the pick for Kenneth Nixon. Let's see here. Select your teams. Let's see if I can get back to the actual page. I'm not a fan of this one right now. Let me see if I can get back to it. What the heck's going on here? Let's see here. Best available. I was looking to see what the teams. I don't know why this one's not working. I used this one last year. Nope, we're not going to use it. We're going to do a different one. But anyway, NFL draft is tomorrow night. And let's go mock draft simulator. All right, let's see what we got here. Pro Football Network. Let's see. I don't like that one. Just did that one. Let's do Pro Football Focus. Let's see if they've got one. I've used this one in the past. This one's definitely better. So it only allows you to do 3 rounds. Nah, we're not going to do that. Let's see what this one looks like. Sporkedia. Here we go. Let's do this one instead. 7 rounds. Picking the Broncos. I want it to be slow. Let's enter the draft and see what's up. All right. Broncos needs right here. It says running back. Let's go look up Abdul Carter. Let's see. Travis Hunter with the Patriots. Mikael Williams. Last time I messed with this one, it actually kept making trades. So you can see here, according to this draft, yes, I think number 1 overall is a foregone conclusion. So number 1 on this one, they've got Abdul Carter going to the Titans. Then Will Campbell, 2nd overall tackle to the Browns. I don't think that happens. They got the Giants taking a tackle. Travis Hunter. This one's not good at all because it's not really what's going to happen. We all know Cam Ward's going number 1 overall. me check something out here real quick. NFL Plus. Let's see if they have one. Mock draft simulator. Let's see. Pro Football Network, PFN. We might see if this one works. No, we just messed with this one. That's the one we were just at. Got to find the right mock draft simulator. NFL.com. Let's see what this one looks like. Hey, it's this one we just saw. Let's let you do 3 rounds at the NFL.com. Maybe we should just do 3 rounds and keep it simple. So we'll go with the Broncos, 3 rounds. Let's see what we got here. Titans on the clock. And this one's got how they their trade likeliness. I like it. This is a little slower. Cam Ward, Brown, 2nd overall. Travis Hunter. It's got the Giants here, 3rd overall. Mason Graham, which would be a shock. Patriots taking Ashawn Genty. Jaguars taking Abdul Carter. The Raiders taking Will Campbell. Jets on the clock. And they would take Shador Sanders, which would be a shocker. Panthers taking Terry McMillan, the wide receiver at Arizona. And then it's got the let me see something here. Settings. Let's redo this real quick. I want to see if there's a way to force drafts. Not a big fan of this one today. Can't remember which one I used last year. Last year's one was a lot better than this one. Let's just use ESPN. See what ESPN does. A mock draft simulator. Check out the mock draft simulator tool. You can do 7 rounds. Let's use ESPN. I want it to be slow, and this is going to go Denver Broncos. And let's load the draft. Let's see what happens with a mock draft simulator for ESPN. Get rid of some of these. No longer needed. I think it allowed you to see it big board. So they've got Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Mason Graham. Interesting. Tyler Warren, Sean Genty, Cam Ward, 7 over. Let's see what happens when this one starts. Titans, Cam Ward. Okay, this one's realistic. Brown, 2nd overall pick. Travis Hunter, Giants, Mason Graham, Patriots, Will Campbell, Jags, Jalen Walker. The Raiders taking Abdul Carter, edge out of Penn State. Jets taking a wide receiver. Panthers over here, tackle, Kelvin Banks over here going to the Saints. Let's see here. Bears, Ashawn Genty, the running back. Cowboys are taking a cornerback. 49ers would take the tight end that the Broncos would potentially be looking for. Dolphins, Matthew Golden. Colts taking a quarterback, which would be a shocker. I mean, they'd move on from I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, the quarterback out of Florida. I remember who he is. I just can't remember his name right now. I can see him right now. Falcons taking a cornerback. This one's got the Cardinals taking the tight end. The Broncos would be looking at Jihad Campbell, linebacker, going to the Bengals. Let's see here. Amario Hampton. Oh, man, that would have well, they got trades in this one. Make trades. Let's see if we can make a trade. Because at that point, you don't have your running back you want. You don't have your tight end that you potentially want. Those two have gone. So let's see here. Let's see who's available. James Pierce. Look at defensive tackle now. Running back, Travion Henderson. Look at wide receivers. Let's see here. Tackles. Nope. Safety. No. Let's see here. Let's look at tight end. Nope. Cornerback. Definitely not needed. I think it's either wide receiver or running back for this team. And let's see if we can make a trade here. Let's see. Make a trade with the Chargers. Let's see if they'll move up. So we'll give them our 20th for their 22nd. And I want to see if I can take their 55th and their 1 They won't accept it. All right. Well, I'm not going to force a trade because that's not realistic. So they would take that. So we would give them our first, give them our second. We would get their second and their third. Interesting. So we give them our first. No, we're not doing that trade deal. Let's see where the Detroit Lions are. They're 28th. No. Let's make a pick. Keep hearing Luther Burden, wide receiver. I think we can get Henderson as a running back, or Judkins. Let's see something here. Let's see who's got the 31st pick. I think it's the Kansas City Chiefs. Might be able to sneak one past them. Kansas City Chiefs here. They got a 31st pick. Let's see if we got that. Lopsided trade, obviously. We'll take your second. Let's do a trade. Let's see what happens here. Perfect. All right. So we picked up their 63rd. All right. They picked him Jigba up, Starks, Stewart, Harmon. Let's see what we got here. Rams, Commanders, Bills, and let's see. James Pierce is edge rusher, cornerback. Jackson Dart. We don't need a quarterback at Denver. Let's see here. Let's look at the wide receiver still available. Isaiah Bond. Probably pick him up later. Let's look at tight ends here. Nope. Well, edge rusher. You could go get James Pierce. Let's look at the wide receivers again. The only thing I don't like is they don't give you an actual info card on the guys. I'm not drafting him. Based on position rank, is he a reach? He might be, because Keyshawn Judkins would be a good running back too for the Broncos to take. All right, I'm gonna look here at wide receivers. Let's go Jaden Higgins. Oh, I don't want to do that either. Let's look up here. Center guard. Yeah, I think Gary's going to try to join me for the draft. We're going to hang out for a little bit, talk about it. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. The only thing I don't like about this draft simulator is they don't have CPU trades. I'm going to check something out here and do this again. See if there's a way to create let me see what else is out here. Mock draft simulator trades included. That way teams can actually do trades. Let's see if we got one. Yes. Let me see something. Phone just went off. 7 rounds, slow. Let's go dashboard. What's the dashboard looking like? Ooh, nice. So you got to pay for that. Nobody wants to pay for a mock draft simulator. We may just end up looking at what's some mock drafts and talk about this because, okay, this might be a little different. Let's see this one. We want turtle speed. Of course, I want to pick for the Broncos because I would pick bad players for the other teams. Let's see, done. And let's see, it's only 3 rounds. Team needs. I like this one. It's not too bad. It's only 3 rounds though. But you know what? let's start it and see what happens here. Titans taking an edge. Browns taking a quarterback. Let's go here. Will Campbell. Gentry's gone. Jets. Panthers. Saints. Stop. So the Saints took Jackson Dart in this one. Jalen Walker went to the Panthers. Mason Graham. And we're up to the 49ers. So we still got James Pierce, edge rusher. Mario Hampton's at 18th. Cowboys. Let's go and see what happens. Cowboys, that's where he probably should have jumped up. The Colts are here. So let's keep on going. Let's see what we got. May not make a trade. Campbell, Pierce, Luther Burden, Seahawks, Simmons, Broncos on the clock. And let's see what running backs are available. Nobody here. Tight end, Colston Loveland. Tyler Warren's available. Let's see who you would take. If Tyler Warren was available at 20, the Broncos would take him. So I'm going to keep messing around with this. Of course, NFL drafts tomorrow, April 24th. Rounds 2 and 3 on Friday, and rounds 4 through 7 on Saturday. All right, let's go to round 2. Browns on the clock. Pause for a second. Let's see if I can make a trade. Broncos. We'll see if it's even possible on this one. Let's go here. Giants. They've already selected. Patriots. Let's see. We got our second round pick for their second round pick, and we give up this 4th. See what happens. See if they take it. I doubt they will, but consider small adjustments. Nope. They would not take that either. Interesting. Interesting. So here's a fair trade. Our 3rd round for their second. I don't want to do that, but no. Trade is very imbalanced. All right, so how do we get out of that now? Perfect. Let me see something here. Let's see if I can exit out of that trade. I hate how some of these browsers are so zoomed in. Let's keep going. We may keep going until we get what we want to. We'll get the actual mock draft I want to mess with. Let's see here. So the Broncos in this one have pick 52, I believe, 51. So you hit tight end. So start looking at running back, see what's available. You got Keyshawn Junkins. Played at Mississippi, ended up at Ohio State. I would select him. So I would give you a tight end and a running back in the 1st round. I don't think Tyler Warren's going to be available by the time the Broncos pick. I think they would have to make a trade up to do that. But highly unlikely they're going to do it. So we may do this other trade, the other mock draft that I had. And it was basically let's see, Broncos 85th overall. Took a tight end. Took a running back. So interesting. I actually think the Broncos should look at potentially a tackle. You've got Garrett Bowles getting up in years. The right tackle's a little bit older. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head. The guy from the 49ers, Mike McGlinchey. He's getting a little bit older, although I think Bowles is like close to 32. The Broncos did re-sign him, which was good news. But I would look at his potential replacement, um, you know, drafting for the future. And you can never have enough offensive linemen, I think, especially considering the amount of games the NFL plays, 17 games. It's really hard to stay healthy. I think teams definitely struggle with it. But let's take a look here. We did a 3-round draft, and it disappeared. So I'm going to have to try a different one. We're trying all the mock draft simulators. And the moment I find one, it'll become the best mock draft simulator possible. This is a horrific stream. I'm going to be honest with you. It's your first time checking this out. You're never going to watch again. And that's okay. Trust and believe that this hasn't been very good. I haven't really figured out the one I want to use either. Because I used this one and I was getting ready to make a trade and it just kept making picks after me as if like maybe I have to pause the draft. Let's do a 7-round. Let's try this one again. We're going to go Denver, obviously, and I can pause. Oh, well, nope, we're not going to do this one. Let's see here. Let's go. Powerful's mock draft. Fantasy Pros. Let's go 7 rounds. 7-round mock draft projects. Nope. Jerry Jones. Nope. Let's see here. 2025 NFL mock draft simulator. Same one we were just at. But let's do 7 rounds and let's see what this does. And we'll control the Denver Broncos. Oh, come on. Go slow, or it's just not going to work. Yeah. Nope, this one's not working either. Let's see. I like mock drafts that have actual trades in them because it's realistic to what's going to happen. Mock draft database. Let's try. Let's try this one. I've never done this one, at least not here on this stream. All right, so Denver. Let's go a free ad here for Kelly Blue Book value. There you go. Let's go there. Let's go 25, 7 rounds. All right, 25, 7 rounds. Let's go slow. What's standard trading? Free for all, whatever that means. We'll try free for all. Let's enter the draft room. All right, Denver Broncos. I think this is the one we used last year, pretty sure. Let's go ahead and start it and see if it actually includes trades. And let's go. All right, slow it down. We're already at pick 10 here. And that's what I don't like. You're on slow already, and it's going 100 miles an hour. Let's go. Show drafted players. And what's up, Kai? Let's see here. Get rid of this one. Don't like this one either. Interesting. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Let's go back to the ESPN one and see if there's got to be a way. Let's see if CBS Mock Draft has one. Let's see if CBS has a mock draft simulator. Let's see. NFL Mock Draft. Grades for every first round. There's a fantasy football mock draft simulator. And no, I don't think this is going to have what we're looking for in it. Let's go draft mock drafts. So you see here, pretty much this is updated as of today. It looks as if Chris Trapasso and Ryan Wilson of CBS, pretty much they all have the chalk between picks 1 through 4. 5th overall, this is where they differ. The wide receiver out of Arizona for Jacksonville, and then Mason Graham, D lineman out of Michigan. And then over here, we're running back for Genty. Let's see, Mike Green. Keep going here. Siobhan Reveal. Tyler Warren going to the Colts. This one's got Genty dropping to the Broncos, which I find interesting here. One, the Raiders would pass on him for Luther Burden. I guess. I mean, it's interesting. I love mock drafts and people's opinions, and you got Shedeur Sanders going to the Steelers. This pretty interesting stuff here. Let's see a couple of these other guys. They got Genty going to the Raiders, which I think is very likely. 20th overall, this one has got Amari Hampton. It's going to be running back for the Broncos. I don't see a situation where they don't draft a running back, at least in the draft. First round is a little bit different. You can see here this guy's got Kenneth Grant. Let's see if we got any mock drafts. We were just in the mock drafts. So I guess we'll see if Fox has a mock draft simulator. All right. Oh, this one's trash. Are you kidding me? Might as well go back and try Sportskeeda again or whatever. NFL Draft Buzz, this one. Might as well try this bad boy up again. And we might as well go ahead and let them do 7 rounds, seconds per round. I want longer round. Don't want it random. Want CPU to CPU trades. Let's do this again, and let's see what happens. All right? Broncos mock draft. I don't know. Edition 7 on the same stream. All right, here we go. I think the Arsenal play here shortly. All right, so again, we've got an ad going that's annoying. I don't want to see that ad. I don't want to see this ad, but hey, if you want to use our free mock draft simulator, you get to see your ads. Let's go and start it, and let's see what happens. All right, Travis Hunter, which I don't think will happen. Cam Ward, Giants, get a trade from the Cowboys, and they trade up to go get Ashawn Genty, Ashton, and they gave up Trey Lance. What a blockbuster trade that would be. I don't think the Giants are going to do it, but they got some capital out of that, so that's a heck of a trade. It's a Jerry Jones type trade, I think. Abdul Carter going to the Patriots. Mason Graham to the Jags. Shedeur Sanders to the Raiders. So that would make Cam Ward and Shedeur off the boards. That would leave Jackson Dart, which is probably a second-round pick. A running back up here, Mario Hampton, Caleb Johnson. All right, let's keep going. The Jets take a wide receiver out of Arizona. The Panthers take an edge rusher out of let's see. Oh, this is a better mock. We should have stuck with this one. So I think this is the guy that's only had like 3 sacks in the last 2 or 3 years in college. 4.59 40. I like this mock draft a lot better. ESPN has him 92 out of 100, 247, 99 out of 100. And he's a Panther, according to this draft. Let's see. Saints get a tackle. And then, so now we're looking here. The 49ers are on the clock, and they get a trade from the Colts. And they're going to take a cornerback. So the Giants are now on the clock at 12. Jackson Dart is the 12th overall pick. Dolphins pick up a tackle. And then 49ers pick up a tackle. That leaves, if we're looking here at the Broncos, all right, you've got Tyler Warren. You've got, I don't know, if you're the Broncos, who do you mess with? Colston Loveland's still there. Let's keep going because I'm looking here at who needs running backs. And let's see what we got. All right, so Bengals make a trade to them, to the Atlanta Falcons, and they take Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Cincinnati. Arizona's up next, tackle. All right, you've got, since Atlanta now is taking Michael Williams, edge rusher out of Atlanta. Seattle takes Tyler Warren out of Penn State. Rudolph, get down. Okay. All right. Rudolph's messing with some stuff on the wall. Never mind. And then you've got, interesting. Now it's time for our pick. I'm on the clock. I'm looking here at running back. Let's see. I don't know if anybody wants to make a trade with us. I don't want to get rid of it, move on. But if I'm looking here, Pittsburgh, let's go running back. Let's go take a Mario Hampton. We're drafting him. Let's see here. Because I don't think you can use future years draft picks. Let's go. Packers have made a trade with the Panthers. The Panthers are coming back up, and they're getting a corner. All right. Will Johnson, cornerback out of Minnesota. And the Chiefs have made a trade, and they threw their first-round pick this year and a second-round pick in for him. Let's go look at who's best available. I want to pause this draft for a minute. Let's pause this for a second. Best available. Edge rusher. Let's see if we can. I want to try something here. I'm going to make a trade with this and this. Actually, let's call the Chiefs up. Actually, let's call the Bills. Let's see. We'll try for their first, and we'll give up this year's second and next year's second. Let's offer it, see what they say. Is that okay? Do they want to do that? They accepted it. All right. So now we're back in the first round. James Pierce, edge rusher. Washington has been traded with the Packers, and they went and got an offensive tackle. So now I'm getting a trade offer. I don't like that. I'm going to listen to offers, even though I just traded up. They're giving me a nope, absolutely not. Hold on one second. Let's give me 1 second. Take a break. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. No, Mrs. called me. All right, nope. No. And you can see the Cowboys are giving up third, fourth, fifth, second next year. This absolutely not, rejecting all. And we're going to go take the tight end out of Michigan, Colston Loveland. So 2 first-round picks. Mario Hampton and Colston Loveland. We have a 3rd-round pick this year, 4th-round pick, 3 6th-round picks, and then next year, let's see if we can shop maybe something. I think we're going to chill for right now. When I look at the Broncos' needs now, based on what I've picked up, I would argue that offensive line would be the next one that I would look at. But yeah. All right. We don't have a pick to 85 now. We have a 3rd and we have a 4th-round pick. But this is, you basically gave up next year's 2nd-round pick to get your tight end you wanted and to get a running back you wanted and a Mario Hampton. So you got a Mario Hampton, you got a tight end, 2 weapons for Bo Nix. I'm thinking defense on this next one. But it could be an edge rusher, could be a D lineman. We'll see what's available by that time if we have anybody I'm looking at. No defensive backs. I don't think that's a massive need at this moment. Pretty well set on corner. Pretty well set on safety. Maybe linebacker becomes a question mark. Let's see here. So we're at pick 56 so far. Panthers trade. This is the mock draft we should have done, honestly. And I'm wondering, like, if I could do it over. Like, so I gave a 2nd-round pick up to move from a 2nd-round pick to a 1st-round pick. So I'm wondering if the Broncos, in theory, could have maybe gotten away with sending a 3rd-round pick to the Bills. Or maybe you could have taken their 1st-round pick and their 3rd-round pick this year, but given up a 2nd-round pick and your 2nd-round pick. Potentially could have happened. And I could run the data on that again to see. But, I mean, if you look at the Broncos, they signed a safety in free agency, signed a linebacker in free agency, signed a wide receiver who I don't know if he's any good. The kid I think he played for the Lions. And then they signed Evan Ingram. So you've got 2 tight ends. You got yourself 2 tight ends, and one in free agency, one in draft. A Mario Hampton that gives you, I would think, to maybe draft another running back. So we're at pick 74 now. The 85th pick. We're going to see exactly who is still available at this point. I guess you could have taken Judkins late if you wanted to. You've got different. But you want to go get the best player possible. And you also need to fill needs too. So looking at this 85th pick, I might target Andrew Makuba. I like this one because there's a lot of craziness in the picks. Now we're getting trade offers. So we're getting the 3rd-round pick, 87, and next year's 4th offer to us. That's interesting. And then you've got, I like this one more than I do anything else. This one's not bad. I'm going to accept it because I still think the guy's going to be available. So I picked up an extra 4th-round pick next year. And I'm picking here at 87. Looks like nobody's calling me over it. But let's figure out maybe, I don't know. Let's see if we can call the Cardinals. No, they don't have anything I want. Bills don't have anything I want. Broncos. That's who we are. Duh. No, I'm just going to stick with Makuba. I'm going to draft Makuba. Brings in an extra safety. He can play corner as well. So that gives you Mario Hampton, Coaston Loveland, and that leaves us with a 4th, 2 6, and next year's 1st, next year's 3rd, 4th, 4th, 2. So we got a 1st, a 3rd, 2 4ths, and a 5th, a 7th. Our picks that we traded away: Jalen Knoll, wide receiver out of Iowa State, and then Jordan Burch, edge rusher out of Oregon. Interesting. All right. So we're still in round 3. Well, Gunnar Helm would have been a decent tight end to take, too. Which, again, I don't think Colston Loveland sticks around to win the Broncos pick, at 51. So I think that was probably the right move to make that trade up. It is a little bit more aggressive than something I would like to do is if I was a GM. Like, I don't like trading away future picks. I like trading current year draft picks, but future picks is not something I'm a massive fan of. I know they're all lottery tickets, and at the end of the day, you have to develop the talent, and you also have to go get players you want. And I think the Broncos, if they want Amari on Hampton, they're going to probably have to draft up. 6 foot 221, 1600 rushing yards, 6.6 yards a carry, 4.440. Hands. So we'll see. Now we're on the clock. And let's go look at D lineman. I'm the best available. Best available from what our needs are. You've got a wide receiver here. Interesting. This guy, Restrepo, is 5'10", 209. You've already got a Marvin Mims type, size. I think Marvin's about 5'10"-ish. My 40 time is slow. 4.83. No. Joshua Farmer out of Florida State. Space Eater. No, I'm not going to do that one either. Linebacker, Jake Majors. No one called about the trade. So let me look at D line. Jordan Phillips out of Maryland. Let's see. What about his bench press? 29 at 225. 6'2". Nope. Is there anybody that we potentially could take a gamble on here? We've already gone defensive back. Special teams, no. Let's go. Quarterback, no, we don't need that. Running back, we're good there. Wide receiver. Let's go look at this offensive line. Emory Jones Jr. LSU. I might look at this guy. Tight end. Let's see here. I got a referral click. Someone clicked the StreamYard. Yay. I like Jake Brenningstool, but we have too many tight ends. But Brenningstool can play wide receiver too, in my opinion. He's 6'6", 241. What was his 40 time? 4.75. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how he turns out. Let's go edge rusher. Nah. Linebacker. Kobe King, linebacker, Penn State. So you got yourself a running back, tight end. I always think you should draft a quarterback regardless. So I know Bo Nix is on the roster, but I would look at someone here with that last pick, like 208 or something like that. So we've got a linebacker, got a safety, got a tight end. I think the next thing we're gonna target is offensive line play and a wide receiver. Unless there's someone that we can get further up here, maybe someone pops up that's worth trading away a couple 6th-round picks to move up, and then that's all you got. But it should be interesting to see what the rest of this draft turns out to be. But Kobe King, let's take a look at his profile here real quick. 6'1", 236, 3 sacks, 97 tackles. 11th ranked linebacker, 4'6", 340. 26 on the bench. 4th round pick. 44 college games. Let's see here. I like the analysis they give you here. Strengths. What are his weaknesses? Coverage skills, straight line speed, limitations show up in chasing players to the boundary. This could be a risky pick. But the best part about doing these mock drafts, and the one thing I'll say is that you really get to know how you're doing them. And this is the first one I've done, so I didn't do any this year kind of as a warm-up for this. I just kind of pressed play and said, hey, we're going to sit here and talk about this for a little bit. And it's obviously a show tonight, but the reality is I probably should have flirted around with the mock draft simulators before pressing play tonight, but whatever. Early rundown defender. That could help out. Broncos could need run defense. All right, let's go. We are in the 5th round pick, 5th rounds now. I wonder how Broncos fan country would feel about this one. Mario Hampton, coasting level. And I still think about that trading a 2nd round pick for another 2nd round pick for first. I mean, it's moving up. I think you probably could have made an early 2nd round trade. Or maybe you could have given up a 2nd and a 3rd next year. But I look forward to the NFL draft. I love it. I will say the vibe's been a little different this year. The Broncos have an actual quarterback. So what we'll do this weekend, I will probably live stream part of the 1st round. Gary from DWTT will join me, who I do Arsenal content with. And then I think we will probably end up doing Bucky Brooks has dropped his final mock draft. He's got the Broncos taking Travion Henderson, 20th overall. Interesting. So, yeah. All right, we're on the clock. All right, let's do this. Offensive lineman, Jack Nelson. Tackle. Oh, you always love to have another tackle. Let's see. Strengths. Nasty anchor. Let's see what his weakness is. Tendency to get overset by speed rushers. Hand placement is a problem. Tall frame. How old is he? 20. I don't give an age. I wonder what his age is. 51 college games. Doesn't say. Todd Nelson. Interesting. Wide receiver out of Tennessee. Multi-role wide receiver. 22 years old. Let's see here. What's his 40 speed? 40 was 4.3. Hands. There we go. 9.5. Vertical. Let's see. Yeah. We're going to draft him. All right. That's a wide receiver. And then we have pick 197. I still think we can probably get Jack Nelson. Looks like he's probably still going to be available there. I'm not going to make any trades. Jack Nelson goes to the Lions. All right, let's go offensive lineman here. Let's see if the quarterbacks are available. Nope. We'll go offensive lineman on this pick. Or see what tight ends are available. Nah, let's go O-line. Ooh, I like this guard here. 6'5", 299. He is. We don't have the age up here, obviously. We're gonna take this guard, Joshua Gray, out of Oregon State. All right, so running back, tight end, safety, linebacker, wide receiver, guard. Last pick of the draft coming up. See if we can trade this away. And let's just, I don't know, Ravens, let me get next year's 5th. And then rejected. Next year's 6th, rejected. That's dumb. Either 7th and 6th. No. I have a 6th round pick. What if? Let's cancel this trade. Let's make the Broncos do kind of like they did last year. They traded for the Jets and picked up a edge rusher in John Franklin Myers. You need to add players. Give it my 6th round pick. Now let's go to the Giants and say, you know what, Giants? Let me look here. No. That's not going to happen. We're going to get I think, let's see. I want to see if I can maybe get a player for that 6th round pick out of one of these teams. Lions, Packers, Colts, Texans, Jags, Chiefs, Vikings, Patriots, Saints, Giants, Jets, Steelers, Chargers, Seahawks, Rams, Bucks, Titans. Let's go to the Atlanta Falcons. No, Emory Jones, kid out of Florida, Drake London, Jake Matthews, Chase McMillan, River McLeod. I don't know what else we would really need at this point. And you got a running back out of this draft. Let's go see if there's another running back. Donovan Edwards. Phil Maffa. What do they have for him? Because Phil Maffa, 6'1", 234, 4.55 40 time, 26th running back, 6'1", 234. Let's see. Let's see his strengths. Downhill rusher, patient approach. I'm doing both. You know why? Because I can go Mario Hampton, and I can go Phil Maffa, and I can just run over you all day. And that now leaves the Broncos with 4 running backs, which again, Moffa, Hampton, or I think Hampton 440 and a 4.5 on that other guy, Phil Moffa. You're looking at interesting. Late first round. It gives you a good 1-2, what I would like to call punch. I feel like he had more receptions last year than this. But a 6th round pick for him, workhorse, 22 years old, competition for Audric Estime. Why not? It's a little bit of a overreach 6th round pick, but pass protection definitely needs refinement. Shows willing effort, but is inconsistent technique awareness. Too often runs with high pad level, creating a larger target area. Yeah, he's a high runner. Battles shoulder issues, limited effectiveness in his late senior season, raises potential durability at next level. These are really good breakdowns here. But we're close to the end of the draft here. Let's see here. And gotta be close to Mr. Irrelevant. 249. 246. I mean, I think going back, I probably would have gone edge rusher instead of linebacker. Maybe. But enough offensive weapons in this mock draft that I think would give Bo Nix some extra options. Young players, obviously. Don't know where Dante Thornton would fit and everything. 6th round pick. Let's see here. But yeah, let me go ahead and save this one, and I might post it to the community tab. But yeah, that was a fun exercise. It was a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? It was a little bit more, maybe there's a word I'm looking for. Complicated, didn't work. Couldn't figure out the right mock draft. So yeah, I mean, probably would need to do that one again. And I think we can look at the mock draft now that it's here. All right. You can actually look at it now that the draft is over. Only thing I don't think it does, I don't know if it gives you an overall grade. I don't know if it gives you an overall there's a word I'm looking for. An overall grade. But Colston Loveland, we traded. We got the 30th pick, and then we traded with Green Bay to get their 3rd round pick and receive next year's 4th. So the Broncos, if they did my draft, which, come on, you wouldn't do it, they ended up getting a 1st next year they already had, and then they end up with a 3rd and 2 4ths. But they jumped up in the 1st round and went back and got Colston Loveland. So I don't know if it's a reach It's possible it's a reach, but very much so. Very much so could be a reach. But anyway, I'm gonna head out now. Thanks for swinging by, those of you that did come by, and it was rather eventful. I have not been doing this as much as I'd like to. Partially lazy, partially tired, partially work's got a lot going on. But either way, I will see you on the next one. Take care.